Hello dear students. From this video onwards, let us learn second step of database design, which is relational model. You know, the first step is to make a ER model for the given requirement and then convert that ER model into relational model. Now what is this model all about is to make tables. Up till now, we were representing entities in the form of rectangles and attributes in the form of ellipses. But in this step, each of those entities like EMP will become a table which is ultimately going to be stored in our hard disk, and the queries or SQL is going to be fired on this table. By the way, the attributes like EMP ID or name will become columns, and the rows of this will store the EMP ID, then name, let us say ABC, some abstract name, and to DEF, and so on. So these tables resembles exactly like our paper sheet on which we write the data by making vertical lines and horizontal rows. Now any of the registers or any of the paper, we maintain our data just like this, isn't it? By making vertical columns, writing some headings of the columns, and then noting down the data in the form of row. So this ER model is going to be converted into relational model, and relational model is nothing but creating tables. But there is more to it. It's not so straight. It's not so easy. By the way, the rule is every entity set of ER diagram becomes a relation. Now relation is the another name given to table. In this chapter, we will interchangeably use the word table and relation. Both are same. Now relation is collection of rows and columns. That is table. Table is collection of rows and columns. And each column represents an attribute, like EMP ID is one of the columns, or EMP name. Name is another column. So columns of the relation are nothing but attributes of the entities. Let us not waste any more time and straight away see an ER diagram. And what we are waiting for, is that how this ER diagram will be converted into relational model. How will we get the tables, that is relations? I hope you have seen the earlier videos and you know this. You know this ER model that we have created where every employee must work for exactly one department. So if you see any employee and you ask how many departments you work for, employee works only for one department. Any employee works only for one department. And if you ask any department, how many employees are working in your department, there can be E1 working in D1, there can be E2 working in D1. Many employees are working in one department. So if you ask a department how many employees are connected to you, there are n employees who can work in a particular department. Well, I expect all of you have seen that earlier video where there was a big video created to explain this particular cardinality. Also, I hope you know why we have drawn a double line over here and a single line over here. This is known as total participation, because if there is an employee, then that employee must work for some department. You cannot have an employee sitting idle. Employee yet says, I don't work for any department. So all the employees surely have relation with some department. This is total. We draw it as double line. But there can be a department, maybe newly created department D3, in which there is no employee employed yet. That means from D3 you will not have any line coming out towards the employee. So there might be some department who does not play a role in this relation. So department is partial. I repeat, I expect all of you to know this by this time. Now our aim is we want to convert this into tables. Now the rule is every entity, employee entity and department entity, every entity will become a relation, that is a table. And these attributes will become columns of those tables. So what we will get is as follows. You see, we will get a EMP relation, that is EMP table, and we will get department relation. Just check out, we will get department relation, which is also a table, and EMP ID, EMP name, and EMP salary. Watch, these were the three attributes of EMP. Just don't see this department ID. I'll explain what this is. But these were the three attributes in the EMP entity, correct or not? EMP entity had three attributes. These have become three columns, and department ID, department name, and department location where the three attributes of the department entity, these have become columns. Observe that department ID is underlined. We say this is primary key. So if you have a department with number 1, you can't have another department with number 1. Neither you can have a department which does not have any department ID. You can't say that I have a department whose department number is not known. So primary key cannot be duplicated and primary key cannot be null. Now finally, EMP ID. Oh yes, EMP ID is also the primary key. I forgot to underline this. But even EMP ID is the primary key in EMP table, and it cannot be duplicated and it cannot have null value. Now finally, why have you put this DEPT ID in EMP relation? Because EMP entity observe had only three attributes. Suddenly this fourth column has been introduced, and this is nothing but DEPT ID of the DEPT relation has been put here. So DEPT ID will be in, department ID will be in both the relations, EMP relation and DEPT relation. Just check, this department ID of this department ID which is there in EMP relation is known as foreign key. I repeat, the department ID in the EMP relation is called foreign key, and this foreign key references the department ID of the DEPT relation. Check that we have created 4 columns in the EMP relation. For those who have learned SQL a bit in the lower semesters, would give the command to create EMP relation as create table, isn't it? Create table, EMP. And then you will name the columns. The columns are EMP ID, and you will write PK for primary key, and then you will say EMP name, correct? Then EMP salary. I'm not writing exact syntax, but some sort of such syntax to create this table. You will write this is EMP relation. And when you write DEPT ID, you know, this DEPT ID is a column. Please try to understand. This DEPT ID is a column in this table, but this is a foreign key which references DEPT ID of DEPT relation. Don't take this seriously. Don't take this command seriously, because we are going to learn this in big detail in SQL. But what I want to suggest is anybody who sees this ER diagram would say, okay, EMP is an entity. EMP is an entity and it has three attributes: EMP ID, EMP salary, and EMP name. So when I convert this EMP into a table, that is relation, there should be 3 columns. No, there are 4 columns. How come? This DEPT ID, which is primary key of DEPT relation, will be one more column in this. So that will become a foreign key in the EMP relation. Check the rule now. I repeat this rule 3 times. The rule is like this. Whenever you have one-to-many relation or many-to-one, whatever you call, whenever you have one-to-many relation, then when you are converting this into a relational model, what is the rule is that the primary key of one side, who is the one side? Yes, department. Department is the one side. Primary key of the one side becomes foreign key of many side. So there will be additional attribute over here, foreign key, which is DEPT ID. I hope you are understanding. What is the rule? Second time, repetition. In one-to-many relation, primary key of one side becomes foreign key of many side. So EMP will not have 3 columns, it will have 4th column also, which is DEPT ID. Come again. Here, are you understanding? This is the primary key of DEPT relation. This becomes one more column over here, and this is foreign key of the EMP relation. Now, what is the meaning of all this and why we have done this? Just check. Suppose we have these employees. Very interesting discussion. You see, 100, 101, 102, and let's say 103. 4 employees. And some names, I'll say A1, A2, A3, A4. Let's not waste time in writing names. And some salaries. Some salaries. Now imagine we have 3 departments, 1, 2, 3. Remember, department number should be unique. And we say this employee 100 works for department number 1. Sounds interesting, sounds meaningful, isn't it? And this 101 employee, this person A2, also works for department number 1. This 102 works for department number 2, and 103 works for department number 2. Are you understanding that when we talk about employees, we have to know in which department are they working? Then in the employee relation, we should keep department ID as the foreign key, isn't it? Now, something more interesting I am telling you. Just check. Imagine there is 104, employee 104, A5 is the name. And we say this employee has some salary and works for department number 4. Nonsense. This is wrong because we don't have any department number 4. What that means is some department number can exist here in the foreign key only if that department number exists in the department relation. Come on, please tell me, how can you have employee working in 4th department when you don't have 4th department, isn't it? That means a value in the foreign key can exist only if that value is existing in the department relation. So are you understanding why this foreign key references the primary key of the department ID? I hope you are understanding, isn't it? Isn't it? You just check this. Suppose we have an employee number 100, okay, working for department number 1. Employee number 101 working for department number 1. And employee number 102 working for department number 2. And there are only 2 departments in our company. And suddenly I insert a row here saying there is an employee 103 who works for department number 3, and there is no such department. Only 2 departments exist. Then isn't this row wrong? How can you have an employee in an invisible department? So this department ID is a foreign key which references, that's the word, references primary key, this is underlined, primary key of the department relation. Have you gone through the rule? Finally, what is the rule while converting one-to-many relation into relational model? Every entity becomes table. Every attribute becomes column. And primary key of one side becomes foreign key of many side. So EMP will have 4 attributes: EMP ID, EMP salary, EMP name, and department ID. This department ID will be the foreign key. Okay. Now tell me, just think of this question and answer in yes or no. Can department ID of EMP relation be duplicated? Yes, of course, because if you have many employees working in the same department, let's see, again 101 works for first department, 102 also works for first department. So foreign key value can get repeated. But this foreign key was referencing primary key. Can this value get repeated? No, never. This is primary key, isn't it? I hope you are understanding what I am saying. Now, before I close this discussion, let's challenge this decision. Let's challenge. Somebody will say, no, sir, okay, you have told us the rule that primary key of one side should become foreign key of many sides. Why? Why opposite is not done? Primary key of many side becomes foreign key of one side. I hope what I am discussing your understanding. I am challenging the rule. I am saying instead of putting department ID in the EMP relation, let's put EMP ID, which is primary key, into department relation. So now EMP will have only three attributes, but department will have four attributes: department ID, department location, department name, and one more, EMP ID, which is the foreign key coming from EMP relation. Well, this choice is wrong. That's why I said the rule three times. This rule is wrong. Let's see why. Here we go. Look at this absolute blunder that I have done. What I have done is this EMP ID, which is primary key of EMP relation, has been put inside the department relation. This is the foreign key now, correct? Why this is wrong? This is not going to serve any purpose to us. You see, this is bad. Why? Because just imagine employee number 100, 101, 102, 103. These employees are there. Okay. And departments, we have two departments. Now imagine in department number one, employee number 100 works. So EMP ID is 100 and employee number 101 works. What nonsense. We have written a comma over here. How can you write list of employees working in some department separated by comma? This is ridiculous. And we will have a multi-valued attribute here, isn't it? And multi-valued attribute is not good because you cannot gather the information properly. I mean, those who have sound understanding of programming can understand later on. If you want to know which employees work in this particular department, then you will have to separate out those commas and separate out the employee IDs. This will be so difficult. Finally, in the second department, if we say that 102 works, this employee, and 103 works, this is bad, isn't it? This is bad. You just check. You cannot maintain the data. You cannot maintain the data about the employees working in that particular departments in this fashion. I hope you understand that it is meaningful. The rule has been made by the developers of this subject. The thinkers have made this rule, and the rule has to be followed without any doubt that primary key of one side becomes foreign key of many side. So department ID is one more additional column in the EMP relation. I hope you have understood how to convert one to many or many to one relationship into relational model. In the next video, I will tell you what about many to many, isn't it? We have this many to many relation, how to convert it into relational model. Thank you very much.